having the door semi-open for the life that you no longer resonate with prevents you from fully stepping into your next evolution in your life. So there's probably a lot going on in the old way you have showed up for yourself and for your life, and the kind of jobs that you have had or relationships that you've had, and it's like it's seen its expired date and you can feel it, and you feel like there is something calling you forth that you are currently navigating through. And still, there is this fear that pulls you back into your old life, which prevents you from fully making the transition into who you are meant to become and living a life that feels really fulfilling and easy and effortless from within yourself, where you no longer compromise on your own energy. Are you making sure that you're now a big yes for yourself and not available for this old way of being anymore? And there is one thing that makes you choose to put energy into your old life and having that door open still, that makes you like you're still swimming here, so therefore you can't be over here, right? And underneath that fear is limiting beliefs that you're telling yourself consciously or unconsciously. For example, that you don't think that you will make it if you fully surrender to this new way of being and this new path in your life. And that you will not be supported financially, or that you will fail or be misunderstood, or whatever it can be. These are all stories underneath that fear. And the fear is what keeps you coming back to your old life that you no longer resonate with. So it's your mind that is coming up with the stories, right? And as long as you have this like self-doubt that you allow your mind to shape around why you cannot make it if you take the leap, right? That is what is also preventing you from taking the leap. And underneath all this, because this is like the first layer, the shallow layer. Underneath these stories that like, it's not even any use that I try, right? It's better that I'm just staying here because here it's safe, because it's known. And what's new, what's over here is unknown. I can't see it fully, and therefore I will not even try to go there because I'm not available. I'm not willing to explore something something that I can't see what it is. Why should I bet on something I don't even know, right? But it's more of a intuitive feeling You feel drawn this way. But you're scared, so therefore you stay here and you stagnate. There's something that wants to move, that wants to express itself, that wants to walk this way. But you don't do it because you're afraid. You're scared. So there's really like two ways to look at it here. One of them being, the first one is that there is something tangible, something physical in your life that like is like in front of your face. Such as you don't resonate with your job or your partner anymore or a family member. And you know it's time to let them go. But you don't. You cling. Because you're afraid. And so this is something that like, okay, you just need to go there and actually do it, right? But the layer underneath that is also what happens within you internally. And sometimes it's easier to start with the internal shift before you make the actual move and do the thing that you probably already know what that is. Or you don't know. And that's scary as well, right? So what if we start from here, within yourself? So there's this fear around going out there in the unknown where you don't fully know what it is, or you're afraid of letting this go fully, right? Because it feels unsafe. How will I be supported? Yada, yada, yada. And there's one thing here you're avoiding altogether, and that is to feel the actual emotion that is underneath the stories. So underneath the fear that triggers the story. So when you look at it and you start to see that, okay, this is a story that I'm telling myself, that I will not make it, that will be here for the rest of my life or whatever it is, right? The limiting beliefs, the self-doubt, all that stuff that comes up, that's the story. That's the first layer. Let's go back a layer to the fear. So when you see that, you go into this story mode. Catch yourself there. And from here, just allow them to be as they are, these limiting beliefs and thoughts. And then you start to like notice what is happening in your body. Notice how much this noise up in your mind are preventing you from meeting yourself. So when you come back a little bit to your body, within yourself, there's probably some discomfort there. There's probably something that you're like avoiding to meet there. And the beautiful thing is that the more you are being here, you go from the like story, and you go into the body. You basically train your nervous system and say that it's safe to be here. You can also like put a hand on your chest or wherever it feels a bit challenging to be at. And then you are being there. And what is happening then is that you are detaching yourself from the story. You realize that, okay, this feeling within myself was here before the story. There's always a story, there's always something going on in your life that is uncertain, that is unknown, that is like triggering these emotions within yourself. And your mind wants to trick you into believing that the fear and the feeling is the same as the story. And that's where you have gotten everything wrong, my friend. Because the fear and the feeling has nothing to do with the story. It's a limiting belief that you've bought into so much that you think that it's true, that they are the same. So you're walking around in your life, living from the outside in, needing the external to be in a certain way in order for you to feel safe in the internal. So once again, the fear arises. Something wants to pull you back into your old life. These limiting beliefs, stories that you keep telling and repeat, self-doubt. You notice the self-doubt come up, the thoughts, the noise. You go into your body. You notice where you feel the sensation within yourself. You start to be there, as you would with a newborn child that is crying, you know? If a child is crying and you just like, come here. It's safe here. I can hold you here. I love you here. I want you here. I don't need you to change. I'm just here for you to know that it's safe. When you bring that kind of energy, you will naturally detach from the limiting belief and the story. And once you detach from the beliefs and stories that has energy towards your old life and your old way of being, it starts to, like, you can still see that they are there, but now you realize that this feeling and emotion has nothing to do with these stories that I'm telling myself. And the more you realize this, the stories will fade away by themselves. Isn't that interesting? So now, look at this. Next time you have your old way of being, your old life, your job that you don't resonate with, your, like, you don't want to work 9 to 5, or you don't want to be with this person anymore that just drains your energy, whatever it is, or you just feel like your life feels misaligned in one way or another, and you feel like there's something opening up here, that you're a little bit scared and you're afraid. So this time around, when the fear arises, because it will still come, right? Nothing more happens. There's no beliefs, there's no stories, there is no nothing that is attached to it. So you start to meet the fear, which is stored in your body because of past experiences, head on. This is when you're really close to actually start to neutralize that energy within yourself, where it's no longer a threat for you to stand with one foot in your old life and one foot in your next evolution. You're standing there in the middle, in the unknown, in the in-between space. And you can meet it heads on. There's nothing that pulls you there or here anymore. And as some old beliefs and stories might come up anyways, you can look at them and realize that you don't resonate with them anymore. They are not kind, they are not supportive, they don't give you anything of value. And therefore, you can cut the cord altogether, mentally. Because you have allowed yourself to make it safe physically. So the safety that you have cultivated within yourself is helping you to let go of the mental stories that feeds with energy to your old way of being and your old life. And what happens is that when you no longer feed an energy to this, it ceases to exist, right? Because you're not there in your mind. And you're not driven by fear in your body anymore. It's become a neutral place within yourself. And your mind is more open. And this is a very, very pivotal moment for you. Because that's when it's not scary anymore to follow the path that is calling you forth. And as you do, the unpredictable can happen. Something beautiful can take form in your life that you didn't even know existed 1, 2, 3 days ago. This is to be in devotion to life. To follow your own path rather than tactically trying to think yourself to it or holding on to something that's seen its expiry date. And there are some untangling work to do here. And some of that has been made available in this video. Maybe the perspectives shared here from my own embodied experience can be of service to you as well. That you got that aha moment where you just felt like, this resonates, this feels true. And this will help you untangle from your old life so that you can step into your calling, what you're meant here to do, what you're meant here to be. Where you no longer are living in conflict with yourself or with your life, where you in your foundational state of being is just light and easy and effortless, and and then to have the external world match this within yourself as well. So it's a direct mirror. So you're actually living the life that you want to live. And that this is actually possible. It's not just a made up thing. It's actually possible to not feel drained in the morning. Living a life that doesn't excite you, where you just can feel like, you suffocate in the experience that you're in because it no longer resonates. That's the indication that you're onto something, that you're on the way to reveal something new. And a part of that is also to just find this video and get this message and the energy behind it. So if this message makes you feel a little bit lighter, or like, okay, this was the thing that I needed to hear, or you felt like an exhale or something like that after watching this and hearing this and being here in this environment that we have created together, this is a beautiful indication that you're actually on the right path, because you're following resonance. And when you're following resonance, what actually feels good, what opens you up instead of closing you down, You discover something universal within yourself, which will lead you on a path that is beyond measurements, that is more fulfilling than you could possibly imagine. Because it's not imagined, it's lived through you, in your body, in your bones. The dance between the state that you're in, your state of being, and the experiences that you're surrounded by, right? The kind of life that you have cultivated, the kind of things that you have let go of, both physically and mentally. You pave the way for something new to arise. That is so much more fulfilling and easy and effortless. And your starting point is to first of all recognize what no longer resonates. Notice the fear, the beliefs. Notice the thread that wants to show you something new. Be comfortable standing in the middle of the two worlds within yourself, where the limiting beliefs fades away, where you can enjoy being, where you no longer pour energy into your old life, your old way of being, which sets you on a journey that is magical. So that was everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.